Hey guys, how's it going? Articulation here, and today we're looking at the Marvel Legends 2-pack series Ironman Mark 50 and Ironspider. This is from the Avengers Infinity War movie. And yep, as we can see the packaging here, we've got a pretty cool window that we can see the figures through. We've got the Tom Holland head here, which is, I think, a unique accessory for this pack alone. We've got Mark 50 Iron Man with a lot of accessories. We've got the Ironspider with the four kind of tentacles that stick out his back. I don't think we've got that in any other figure before. Especially not for Marvel Legends. We've also got the Hasbro logo at the bottom there. This is for ages 4 and above with choking hazard because it includes small parts, obviously. So on top here, we've got the Marvel logo here in a shiny kind of material. On the left here, we've got the Iron Man image from, I think it's a movie promotion image, or maybe it's just the artwork from the movie. On the other side, we've got the Ironspider artwork. Looks pretty cool. And on the back here, we've got the Ironman Mark 50 kind of headshot with a little bit of a read up on what Iron Man is. Yeah, but we all know what Iron Man is. And on the other side, we've got Spider with a little bit of a read up. And on the back here, we've got an image of the movie poster itself. And nothing much on the bottom. Alright, so in terms of accessories, this is everything we get in the packaging. Let's first take a look at Spider-Man's tentacles. So this is what it looks like. This is what all four of them looks like. So they're pretty similar in terms of what they look like, but we'll just take a look at one and then just go through the articulation for this one. It's got a pointy knob here. There's good sculpting. No, we just need to get that to focus. Yep, pretty good joint here. And another joint here. So it's got two joints in total and one that plugs into Spider-Man's back. And we get four of those. We also get a Tom Holland head sculpt. Not the best looking head sculpt, but I don't know, it gets the job done, I guess. They've got the hair right. So it's alright. It's not the best in terms of, I guess, looking like Tom Holland. Well, from the side, it doesn't look that bad. But yeah, that's what the head looks like. The hair's done pretty well. The paint's pretty okay-ish. The eyes do look like they're in proper place. There's a little bit of a white mark here where we could possibly just scrub it off, get rid of it. So that's what the head looks like. We get two fisted hands for Iron Man. He does come with two open hands that are blasting his repulsor beams. Yeah, that's what the fisted hands look like. We also get a shield for Iron Man. So that's what it looks like. It's painted alright. It's not the best painting. I think it's different color gold here. I don't know why they've done that. And on the back, it just attaches to the arm. Cool. What? Iron Man also has these repulsor effects. So we've got two of them. You could put it in his leg to make it look like he's hovering or flying. Or you can also put it in his arm to make it look like he's shooting it out. So they're done in like a light blue kind of color. Pretty cool. And Iron Man also has this epic blaster thing that he uses against Thanos in Thanos' planet. So it's got a see-through plastic to make it look like they're all flying. They're supposed to be flying next to Iron Man to make it look like, they're all converging like a big beam into Thanos. But yeah, I mean, it gets the job done. It's just reflective. So if you got any lights passing through it, it's going to reflect it back, and it's not going to look like it's actually flying there. But yeah, they've done what they can with the technology that they have. So it's pretty cool. So those are all the accessories. Alright, so this is what the figures look like out of packaging, and I gotta say these look really good. Especially the Iron Man and Spider-Man duo, because in Infinity War, when Spider-Man dies, that was like a really, really touching emotional moment, and it was really done well on screen. So I think this duo just really works. And yeah, they just got good chemistry, Tony Stark and Peter Parker, or I forgot his name. That guy and that guy. I think Iron Man's color is done really well. It's just a lot better than the previous ones we've got, where the body and the limbs kind of mismatched. But this one looks a lot better. We try to get him in a kind of dynamic pose so that they look really, I guess, more articulated. But yeah, I think this looks really good. We just used a few things that we did at home. We made at home just to make the, I guess, scene look a little bit more alive. So yeah, with Iron Man, I think the colors are really, really done well. The head sculpt is still the same, which is not the best, but it still works really well for that scale. He's also got this transparent the transparent thing that hovers behind him, which shoots Thanos, which looks really good, especially when you're looking at certain angles. It just looks really transparent, so it kind of sells the whole gimmick. It's pretty cool. So let's have a look at Iron Man up close. So yeah, his head's painted all right. He's got bluish eyes. I'll just get rid of the hand, as all the paintwork looks pretty decent. Yeah, there is still a bit of mismatch in color. Let's get this off. The back's also done really well. Yeah, the paint and the gold the gold and the shiny red really works well. Yep. I'm not a fan of his hands, especially with these on, because you can't really put the repulsor blasters in there. We'll take that out, but it looks alright. I mean, it just sells the whole look of Iron Man having these massive weapon sets that he can use against Thanos, because they really definitely needed that additional firepower just to beat Thanos in Infinity War. So that really sells this image and this figure. Cool. That's what Iron Man looks like. Let's have a look at. Well, make him stand first, and let's have a look at Iron Spider. So I think this is very similar to the old figure that we got. That was a single carded figure, so it wasn't in a 2-pack. But yeah, it's very similar to that one. I think the additional thing here is the gauntlets that they've added here, and obviously the tentacles or the mechanic arms. But yeah, this looks like a very good figure as well. Head sculpt's pretty cool. The gold paint and the blue and the red really match as well. Although this gold does look a little bit more, less shiny than the gold here. I would probably prefer it if it was that same gold that was here, but it might be just the contrast that's throwing me off. Yeah, nothing else that stands out. Everything else looks pretty cool. The other change is the back. There was a Spider-Man logo at the back when the tentacles were retracted, but in this one, yeah, you obviously have like the pegs for that tentacles to go in. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. All right, let's get to the articulation section. All right, so let's have a quick look at the articulation on this Iron Man figure. So we'll start from the top with the head. The head looks up pretty well, so he can get into flying poses if you want. That looks pretty decent. Then you look down. Let's see, the head looks down pretty well. Also, yeah, but there's a kind of a gap at the back here. The head's got not that much pivot, but it can look left and right pretty well, which is good. We've got some articulation on his torso as well, so he can't do much, to be honest. That's like not much at all. That's how far he can go front, and that's how far he can go back. So he can go back further, which really would help in that flying kind of pose, where it's exaggerated more with the chest piece tilting back as well, which is cool, I guess, but it doesn't go front. No swivel or anything at the waist. The hands are on the traditional shoulder peg that Hasbro uses, but it can only go up that high. We've got the bicep swivel, which works fine. We've got double hinged elbows, and this contraption kind of does not let it hinge all the way forward because it's stopping it here. But yeah, if you get that off, you should have like normal range of motion. We can probably have a look at the other figures just to see how much that is. I get that back. With regards to the leg, they can kick up that high, kick back not much, thigh cut here, which you can probably take it 360 degrees, double hinge at the knees, which is really tight on this figure, but let's get it to work. There we go. So it can go up that high, which is decent. So hinge feet and ankle pivot. Well, let's get more light. Yeah, ankle pivot, which is pretty cool. So in terms of articulation for Spider-Man, I think we've seen this figure before, so it's pretty similar to what we have in the previous figure, but let's go through it once again. I'll just get those out of the way. The head can look up that high, which is decent. He can do like the free falling kind of pose, which looks pretty cool. Yep. His head can tuck in pretty far to his chest. Looks side to side. Not much in terms of pivot, but that's cool. He's got a butterfly joint, which can go forward that far and back that far. I think that's the extent of it. So forward, well, forward that far and back that far. Shoulder articulation that we've seen on all the other Marvel Legend figures as well. He's got bicep swivel, double hinge at the elbows, which can go in that far, which is pretty cool. So it's that much. Rotation at the wrist, can turn or can move up and down. He's got a diaphragm joint as well. Can go forward that far forward. Let's get rid of that. Yep, that far forward and that far back, which is pretty decent. Spider-Man can kick up. Oh, sorry, he's also got waist swivel. He can kick up pretty high. That's pretty good. I think, yeah, I did that by mistake, but especially when you've got that ab articulated as well, he can kick up really high. He can kick back not as much because he's got his bum sculpted. He's got the thigh cut on both thighs, double hinged knees, which can go up pretty far. That's a good range of motion. And the ankles are on a hinge and a pivot, which is the same as the other figures. All right, so we just wanted to have a quick comparison of the other Iron Mans we had. So this is the new, this is the Infinity War Iron Man. I call it new because we bought it today, but yeah. We've also got the Iron Man from Infinity War, but it's just a different action figure line. This came with the Thanos BAF. So yeah, that looks pretty cool. I mean, they're essentially the same body, but it's just a different paint that does this figure a lot of good rather than, this one. The gold does fade away a little bit. I mean, this one also has less gold, maybe less than this one, but yeah, this just looks a lot better. The red is just more striking, I guess. So that's the one from the single pack in the Thanos BAF. We also got the 3-pack Iron Man that comes with the light up feature. So the chest obviously lights up. This one came with Thanos and Doctor Strange. So yeah, I think these two are more similar in color with the orangish like hue, but this one has the better and deeper red. We've also got one more Iron Man figure to compare, and this is the Iron Man Mark 46 from Infinity. So this is from Civil War. So I think this figure still is the best figure that I think I have here in this lineup, just because the material just feels solid on this and the colors are also really popping. The head sculpt on these aren't the best. But yeah, that's what he looks like compared to all the other Iron Mans. These two are essentially the same Iron Man, but it's just a different paint job. So just like the Iron Man, we wanted to do a comparison with all the Spider-Man figures we have. So first and foremost, we've got Spider-Man from the Infinity War Thanos Build-A-Figure series. We did do a custom to him, so it's just got a lot of lines in black running through the suit. We try to make it look a little bit better, which I think it does make it look better, but I mean, to each their own. So yeah, they're basically the same figure. It's just, I think because of the black, it does look a little bit different because of the black lining, but it's essentially the same figure. We also have Spider-Man from SH Figure Art series. It's the same Spider-Man, but as you know, with SH Figure Art, it's a lot smaller than Marvel Legends. So this is what he looks like. I think the colors on this is so incredibly well done, and the gold really works well. And I think the red probably is a little bit muted compared to the Marvel Legends one, but it's just a really good figure, and the golds just really pop. We've got one more figure we wanted to compare him with, and this is, I think, on the more higher end scale, similar to SH Figure Arts. This is the Spider-Man from Spider-Man Homecoming, and it's the Mezco Spider-Man. So yeah, he towers over everybody else, but yeah, I guess just different scales. Well, it's the same scale, but just different lines of figures. This probably is my favorite Spider-Man, to be honest, still, because it just looks so accurate to the movies and the suit is so well done. But yeah, here's a look at all the different Spider-Man. All right, so a bit of a size comparison time. I think we'll just start with the default figures here. So this is what Iron Man looks like next to Spider-Man. Spider-Man is a teenager in these movies, so he does look a bit shorter. But let's bring in some other figures from the Avengers line to compare. So this is what they both look like next to an average female figure, which is the Captain Marvel. Yes, Captain Marvel is a bit taller than Spider-Man, a bit shorter than Iron Man. I think that works really well. This is what they look like next to Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow. She is, I think, similar height to Peter Parker, so that also does work really well, and Iron Man obviously hovers over them. We've also got, we try to make, I guess we just gave him extra parts to make him worthy cap, but yeah, this is what Captain America looks like next to these figures. Taller than Spider-Man, a bit shorter than Iron Man. Thor obviously is a lot bigger than all the other figures, but this is what he looks like. He just towers over everybody. But I think it's more of a comic book line where he's supposed to just hover over everybody because he's like a demigod. But yeah, for the movies, it just doesn't work that well because he's not that much taller than Iron Man. Alright, so we'll get rid of these, the first lot. Okay, so let's do second lot of figures. So this is what Pepper Potts looks like. This is the rescue figure from the Endgame series. So I think that compares really well in height. This is War Machine from the Endgame series as well. He's a lot bigger and bulkier than everybody, which is, I think, pretty consistent with the movie. This is Ronin, and he looks pretty good as well too. So he is a bit taller than Spider-Man, and I think the same height as Iron Man, which works. And we've also got Doctor Strange. If I can, I'll probably place him at the extreme left here. So this is what he looks like. And yeah, cool. That's what they look like, and they look pretty cool. Okay, so final verdict on the figures. I think the Iron Man figure does look better than his previous incarnations, especially because of the color. It just looks so much more vibrant, and the accessories really hits it home. In terms of Spider-Man, it's the same figure that we've seen before. I think the only additions here are the gauntlets and obviously the spider arms that he has on his back. So they are a good addition to our collection, but it's just a rehash of the old figures. So if you have your old figures, you probably might not want to jump the gun and buy these. I think the Tom Holland sculpt is not the best to recommend this 2-pack just solely based on that. But yeah, I think Iron Man's weapon set does do it pretty good justice, and the coloring of Iron Man's also pretty good. But well, yeah, I guess it's up to you. But it's a pretty cool set.